Hello guys, good morning. How are you doing? So guys, I want to show you people how I do preserve my tomatoes. The festive period we're already in the festive season. Christmas is around the corner, so I bought this basket of tomatoes yesterday. So I thought of the method I'm going to use to preserve it. No, if even if it has anyone that's still remaining, there has to be anyone that is remaining that I can easily, maybe if I'm traveling, go with it and it will still be in good shape. So guys, after blending my tomatoes, I now pour it into the pot. As you can see, it's on top of the gas. I'm boiling it and it's already boiling, guys. You can see it, guys. So after this, you put it in the gas and it's going to take, like, let's say, leave it like about 15 to 20 minutes, or maybe, say, it depends on how your gas is or how the fire is on it. So when it start boiling like this, then bear it in mind that your tomatoes is getting ready. So what I'm going to do is, after it's when it's boiling like this, when the bubbles start coming up this way, what I do is I take this, guys, I take my shifter, my filter. Here's it. Then I will now pour in the tomatoes into it. I pour in the tomatoes into it, but though it's not yet time for me to do it right now, because I have to let it to start bubbling up. You understand? When it start bubbling that you cannot control it, maybe it start pouring away or something. So what I do is I put it in the shifter and I sieve out the water. When I sieve out the water, I get something like this. Guys, you can see I get something like this. Can you see? It's already dry this way. This one is almost getting ready for me to pack. So you can see, guys, this is it. You can see it. As dry as what you can think of. Can you see, guys? So after I've put it into the shifter, I now pour it in a separate pot, or I return it back to the pot, because why it's in a separate pot is that I have it was a very big basket of tomatoes that I'm trying to prepare. So I'll now pour it in. You can see my tomatoes is so red. You can see, guys, very red. Then I'll now transfer everything. I'll pack it. I'll now bring down my gas down. I'll bring down my pot. I'll now pour it into this. Guys, you can see. I transfer it. That is what I have to. That's what I used to normally do my. So I'll transfer everything into this custard empty net bucket. So when I transfer it there, I will not tight it close. I'll cover it. So when I'm done covering it, but before I cover it, I'll have to let it to cool off. When it cools off, I'll now pour it inside. I'll now cover it. Sorry, when I cover it, put it into my freezer. This, mind you, this is going to, when you do this, exactly the method I showed you, this is going to take you for as long as you want. And normally that's how I do. Each time I go for home for Christmas, I do it this way. I take maybe one bucket of custard bucket. I'm done for anything whatever it is I want to cook. The tomatoes got me covered. I don't need to go and stress myself and buying tomatoes. Or so what I do, once I do it this way, at the end of the day, I won't have anything to regret on tomatoes, and I will just be gradually be taking it little by little from each time I want to make my stew, my rice, or whatever it is that I want to make in the village. I don't need to bother myself. And again, if you don't have freezer, like when you travel, I know some people in their villages, they do have a light problem. When you don't have freezer, as it is in the container like this, as it is here, you can easily pour in your groundnut oil on top of it. In fact, that method is what we used those days when my mom I used to stay in the house when I was still with my parents. Then we now pour the oil, groundnut oil. Just make sure that the groundnut oil covers the layer of the top of the tomatoes in the container. You just cover it with groundnut oil. So each time you want to take your tomatoes, you shift together, not oil. Pick your tomatoes that you want, and you return the oil back into the custard bucket. And your tomatoes is as tasty as you can ever think of. Thanks, guys. So I thought of how to I thought of to share to you guys how I normally preserve my tomatoes. So let me know in your comment section how you normally preserve your tomatoes, so we all can learn as well. Thank you.